with caution.
What's up, my drunken fighters? Caution here, and welcome back to another video. This time we're going to go a little bit more in depth on the new changes that have been made to Jamie since during Capcom Cup. Pretty much we all know the changes. I'm gonna post them here in the screen, and let's start with what is, in my opinion, the biggest one, and that is going to be forward throw can now be cancelled into a drink. So yeah, obviously I have been doing some labbing with that yesterday on stream, to be exact, and I thought I would share my my discoveries with you guys on YouTube as well. So obviously it's really great. We can forward throw. If you hold throw, you can cancel it into a drink, which is now a new animation, and it leaves you +7. Now mid-screen, let me talk about that straight from the bat. In my opinion, mid-screen, there is not much to it. Yes, it does give you a drink, and it comes back to the ancient discussion of what's the thing with Jamie is, do I want to go for pressure or do I want to go for a drink? And now that same question can be applied with forward throw, because before that, as you can see, we have 23 frames of advantage. So there's actually a 16 frame difference when it comes to adding the drink animation. So if you want to keep up the pressure, then I would advise you not to go for the drink, because there are ways to keep the pressure going. Think of characters like Guile, think of characters like Dhalsim, maybe even Chun, and maybe even depending on the situation that you are in. However, the strength of this actually becomes in the corner, because here we are still +7, but obviously the distance is way closer than mid-screen and they have nowhere to go. That being said, let me just say straight off the bat, if you watched my previous videos, one of my older videos with the driver's throw loop, that is pretty much gone. Except, very interesting, if you, let's do wake up, crouching, light punch. If you actually get your fourth drink off of the animation, then you are actually +27, which is very similar to the regular throw. If I turn crouching light punch off, it should be fairly similar, 23, so even 4 frames more. So when you actually have when you get the fourth drink, you can actually still go for drivers into throw. That still works, and then from there on out you can keep repeating the old driver's throw loop video, the setups, the mechanics, whatever you want, as long as you don't go for the drinking animation. So I can still beat Ken's crouching light punch when we go for drivers, but if you do this with the regular one, you're going to be beaten by the crouching light. So what are the options you can do? Well, basically, if you paid attention, 7 frames, that pretty much means we could go for crouching medium kick. However, if they decide to do nothing at all, which rarely would be the case, but it can happen, and they would be standing, then your crouching medium kick is not going to reach. Now, given the fact that most people would be crouching in a situation like this, then obviously crouching medium kick is going to hit in that regard. But it doesn't add that much value, because you're not going to get like a super great advantage out of crouching medium kick. That being said, I feel like, personally, I think 5MK, standing medium kick, is going to be the way to go. And there's a couple of things you can do. So let's say let's go for like a crazy one. So let's say drive impact. So drive impact is going to be it's still going to be a risk for Ken. If we go for only standing medium kick, that could be a really great option. But we also want to keep up the pressure, right? So what I was thinking of doing is we are actually in a perfect spot to go for 5mk into medium punch Rekka. The reason being, for people who paid attention to my previous videos as well, is that we are at the ideal spot of creating the space traps with 5mk into medium punch Rekka. Let's say if they go for crushing medium kick on block. Then we are once again at that spacing where we can continue to do the loops with 5mk. And yeah, we're off to a great start yet again. You can also opt to go for OD Rekka, and that's where the fun comes in. So if they decide to go for Drive Impact, for example, and we would go for the regular Rekka, you could always buffer into level 3 to keep yourself safe. But obviously, you're not always able to do level 3. In that case, if you have the meter to spend, you can also opt to go for level 2. So this would also be possible if you're on 1 drink level, even if you're on 0 drink levels or anything like that, to keep yourself safe. And you can DI back. And now you have your level 2 activated, and this is the beautiful part about it. If this would be the situation, you activate level 2, so you get 4 drinks instantly, but you start off with a great situation for yourself because after the Drive Impact, you can actually go for save jump setups. So you get save jump setups with 4 drink levels in the corner ready to go. Now, the annoying part about it is obviously that you have to spend level 2 or level 3 with the regular Rekka. So what you can also do, and that is going to rely on your drive gauge resources. So we can actually go for 5mk into drive rush, and there's a couple of things you can do. If you actually get, let's say we get our 3rd drink from this forward throw, then we have access to command grab. So let's say there's 2 situations that could occur. Kenny's either going to go for Drive Impact, or Kenny's going to go for Wake Up buttons. In this case, Wake Up, Crouching Light Punch, Crouching Medium Kick, doesn't matter. We are always going to go for 5mk, and we're going to Drive Rush cancel it this time. But here comes the cool part about it. You can actually react to the Drive Impact. Now, if you see the Drive Impact, you go for Command Grab, and if you see the counter hit, you can actually go for a conversion. So let me showcase off the bat. See, I saw the hit, and you can go for 5mp, you can go for 5 HP. It doesn't really matter. And if we go for DI, let's see if we get it. There we go. You can actually interrupt the Drive Impact and start over. Get a save jump and anything like that. So train this for yourself to just go for the 5mk into Drive Impact, or like into Drive Rush. And yeah, just go from there. I see the conversion, I see the hit, I see the counter hit, I go for 5mp. And if I see the Drive Impact, perfect. There it is once again. So you can train yourself to just, on reaction, because you have all the time in the world, right? You can even go for 5 HP there in that situation as well. Alright, so that is basically so far what I could find on the things you can do so far. There's a couple other things you could do as well, and that one is very interesting, is that you can actually go for 6mk or the overhead, and you can see that if they decide to wake up, only works on the regular one. So once again, obviously the frame data changes when you get the freeze frame. But if they decide to wake up with crouching medium kick, you can actually overhead. You hop over it literally, and you can go. You have +5. So yeah, you can get a combo off it. You can get another drink level, anything you want. So that works as well. So those are so far the things that I could slightly sort of find that are great, that could be useful in these situations. There's probably a little bit more. What I do have to say is, if you do get the 4 drink level, keep in mind that you are plus 13 in this situation. So that means that you cannot go for 5 MK, because that's a 10 frame startup and your 5 MK will whiff. So in that case, if you still want, you can go for 5 HK instead, and then you can go for the parry mix up afterwards on block, because it's -3 the Rekas. So that's something you could do as well. But you can also, almost forgot that one, you can also opt to go for 4 HP. But that also only works if they decide to go for a wake up button. And that will hit. So you saw here, if they decide to do nothing at all, then that unfortunately will not hit, which is unfortunate. I'm not sure if it does hit on standing, but I sincerely doubt it. Yeah, it whiffs as well. So yeah, that only works if they decide to challenge, which is, again, not optimal. So yeah, so in my opinion, and this is what it comes down to, once again, even in the corner, is that I really like this change, this specific change, and then we're gonna close off this chapter and move to another one. I really like this change. It's a step in the right direction, but at the same time, once again, I have to deal with the struggle of choosing between a drink or pressure. And I'm not saying it's not welcome, because it's a really welcome change, especially off of forward throw. And as I showcased, there's still a couple of things we can do after getting a drink. It is the space that we are left to work with among with the frame data. So +7 sounds amazing, because there's not a lot of there weren't not a lot of situations where we were so much plus after getting a drink, even in the corner. So in that regard, it's a welcome change, but we lose a lot of pressure options. Like I said, the driver's throw loop is probably one of my favorite, and gives you the most options, and even one of the most safest options to apply pressure, which is really valuable on its own, sometimes even better than going for a drink. So once again, even though this is a really good change, we have to keep in mind that we definitely know when do we want to go for that drink and when do we want to go for the pressure, even right now in the corner. If you are at 2 drinks and you get a forward throw, then I would immediately say to you, doesn't matter who you're playing against, because they're already in the corner, go for that drink, because you're going to get your command grab. And with that being said, let's move on to the next change. Alright, so next up is that they changed the frame data and the damage as well to SA1. Now, this is a really good change. I am rusty as hell. I can't even do my inputs. But when ending into a drink, we are now +4, which is perfect, because this is the exact situation as we used to have in the corner with sweep into drink. That would give us a similar situation, also +4, regardless of the freeze frame to getting your final drink or not. So that puts them into a strike throw mix-up. However, and this already this worked in the before the changes as well, but the frame data wasn't that significant. But if you, for example, hit them from a dive kick, for example, or let's say OD palm, if I'm not mistaken, then you can actually get better frame data. So let's say we hit him with this. We are now +7. So this is the magic number. This is like pretty much the same as the forward throw frame advantage, but we end up right in their face. And that means we can go for command grab. That means we can go for a 5 MP. Tons of stuff we can do. Tons of stuff. Go for throw. Go for anything. So this is a really welcome change, because before, in my opinion, SA1 was only good for two things: killing someone if you needed the damage to do so, to end the combo into a super, or to get yourself out of a drive impact situation when you were in burnout. But besides that, especially at drink level, yeah, sometimes you could use it mid-screen. But besides that, wasn't really a lot of value going for level 1 super. But now there definitely is. We get the frame data advantage, and we get a drink out of it. So this is a significant change. There's not a lot of stuff. +7, you know, we have explained so many situations that you can handle with +7 frame advantage. But the one thing that I did find is if you get your final drink on with the level 1 super from OD Palm, you have 28 frames advantage. And there's definitely some stuff that we can do with that. The best one that I could find so far, if you actually whiff 2 MP, you will be +4. So that means you can once again go for the strike throw mix-up. And if you whiff a 5 LK or 5 LP, you are +8. So that means you can go for meaty 5 MP or anything like that. So let's see if we can make it work. Oh, we're +7. I had it all the way around. But yeah, we are +7 after that. Which means command grab once again. So that is definitely not bad. I think if you get it from a regular super... Yeah, if you go for a regular super and you whiff the 2 MP, you are +4. So that gives you the strike throw mix-up. So that's what you have to do if you get the final drink out of your super. But still very strong. So whiffing 2 MP, what are you waiting for? Ideal situation. And if you whiff 5 LP, you are +8. So you can do 5 MP afterwards, whatever you want to do. If you do that with OD Palm, you're +12. So there's definitely some room for improvement there on what you want to do in that situation. So yeah, once again, very welcome change. So far, this is what I could find on those changes. Most of them are just +7 situations, so they're ideal and in their opponent's face. So there's not much that I have to explain about it. But these are my opinions on the changes. I thought it would be a good idea to share my thoughts and my opinions with you guys. And overall, they're pretty good. They did some minor changes to the tension as well, something like that. Not entirely sure, but not really that relevant in my opinion personally. But now the age-old question: do I like the changes? And my overall let me just give my overall thoughts. I do like the changes. In like I said earlier, in a nutshell, I think it's a step in the right direction. But there is definitely some stuff that I would love to see more from Jamie. So like, let's say the drive rush throw loops that I explained in a video in the past is probably one of the things that I would love to see for Jamie, for him to be able to handle without being able to use those resources. And what I mean by that is I would love to see changes in regarding to his frame data on a couple of normals. Jamie has to work really hard to get some of the most, what is for some characters, basic bread and butter moves. So let's say if we want to do a simple 5 MP into 2 MP, for example, we have to use meaty setups for that, whereas other characters are able to do this just like that, and we get punished quite hard for our conversions. So I would love to see frame data changes on maybe 5 MP, 2 MP. The reason why I would love to see changes on 5 MP, for example, even if it was just by 1 frame, 2 MP, 3 MP, 4 MP, 5 MP, 6 MP, 7 MP, 8 MP, 9 MP, 10 MP, 11 MP, 12 MP, 13 MP, 14 MP, 15 MP, 16 MP, 17 MP, 18 MP, 19 MP, 20 MP, 21 MP, 22 MP, 23 MP, 24 MP, 25 MP, 26 MP, 27 MP, 28 MP, 29 MP, 30 MP, 31 MP, 32 MP, 33 MP, 34 MP, 35 MP, 36 MP, 37 MP, 38 MP, 39 MP, 40 MP, 41 MP, 42 MP, 43 MP, 44 MP, 45 MP, 46 MP, 47 MP, 48 MP, 49 MP, 50 MP, 51 MP, 52 MP, 53 MP, 54 MP, 55 MP, 56 MP, 57 MP, 58 MP, 59 MP, 60 MP, 61 MP, 62 MP, 63 MP, 64 MP, 65 MP, 66 MP, 67 MP, 68 MP, 69 MP, 70 MP, 71 MP, 72 MP, 73 MP, That would make such a big difference. Because punish counter right now, 5 MP, leaves you at +9. If that would be one extra frame, just one more, that would be +10. And what other move is 10 frames? 5 MK. So there's a lot of situations where 5 MP would actually punish something. So let's say this range. And the only thing you can do is get a sweep. Because you're too far away to do anything else. It would be so great for just being able to convert, to go into that 5 MK to get a much better combo. Because that would even mean on a simple combo, on a simple punish count, we would be able to do into OD palm. Because 5 MK is one of the only normals, one of the few normals, medium buttons, that can go into OD palm. So this would give us a much easier time. 2 MP in terms of range, I would love to see that being maybe +1, +2, something like that. Hard to say. We don't want to make it too strong, but it would make 2 MP a lot better as well for simple conversions. Because punish counter right now, imagine if it would be just 1 frame more. Once again, just 1 frame. That would mean that 2 MP punish counter could lead into 5 MP. And 5 MP, if it would be an extra, let's say also an extra frame, that would mean if that would lead into 6 frames, regular hit. So that would actually mean you would be able to do 2 MP, 5 MP, into another 2 MP perhaps. Stuff like that. Maybe if they change the pushback, there we go, something like that. That would be super sick if we could do a conversion like that. And that is right now the situation that other characters already can create for themselves. So, and that's where Jamie sometimes, in my opinion, really struggles. But this, the thing is, they gave him a lot of extra tools, or 2 extra tools that he definitely needed to get more drinks, and that will still be the goal for Jamie. But will this make him a better character? I'm not entirely sure. I think he might slightly be a little bit better in the tier list, but judging on what I said earlier, what I would love to see for Jamie, I don't think that this will be what he needs to be up there, not by a long shot. But I'm curious to hear what you guys think of the changes. What do you like about the changes so far? Do you like them? What would you love to see coming up in the patch? Because there's going to be a big balance patch later on. Later on, when probably all the characters are revealed. Basically, when a new season starts, there's going to be a big balance patch. So there's probably room for a lot more changes to come. But what would you like to see? What are you happy with right now? What do you want to see different? Probably a lot of people are going to say change the dive kick, because it's really not great, and I agree. There's definitely some things that can change. Bakai, for example, as well. I would love to see a little bit more changes to Bakai. Maybe make it a little bit faster. Maybe make it travel further, especially the light version. If you want to punish, if you want to punish fireballs. Damn, I couldn't come up with the word. If you want to punish fireballs a lot, you want to, if you want to do it like, let's say like 100% guaranteed, you almost always have to go for OD Bakai. Just because you can see how big the travel distance is in comparison to light kick Bakai. So if I do light kick Bakai over here, there's no way I'm going to be able to do that. But look how far OD Bakai goes. But if you have to spend 2 drive gauges for every time you want to punish someone using fireball, you're gonna have a rough time. So yeah, that's something I do want to see. Maybe even make the startup from medium Bakai a little bit faster, perhaps, because medium Bakai is pretty decent in terms of range, but the startup is significantly slower. It's 4 frames, and it's how much is it with OD? 1 frame. So the difference is there, but OD travels further, so OD is just the way to go. But yeah, those are some of the things I would love to see. I hope some of these changes and my thoughts and opinions and the things I found will help you out to utilize in your game plan. If you have found other discoveries or setups, let me know. I would gladly lab those, and I would gladly work out better situations maybe, or like just inspire. I hope you guys can inspire me to try different things, because that's what I'm looking forward to. But for now, hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe to help me out. And don't forget, as usual, to stay cautious, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.